Well, a big good afternoon and welcome to a terrific Wednesday here in Perth as the AMMNA Championships kicks underway on day 4. This is session 1 and a big game coming our way with the Queensland men's side up against South Australia. Sue Gordian's my name, and what a thrill it is to be here in the midst of the weeks while the West Coast Fever have a bit of a break before they head into their next game of Suncorp Super Netball, and of course a chance to come down and have a look at some of the great men's netball unfolding here in the Bendat Stadium. And alongside me today, well, not a new name to men's netball. He's certainly a champion in his own right, and Dan Cook, former Victorian and Australian men's goal attack. And we just had a bit of a chat, Dan, and you told me that the last time you and I met was me commentating your game, and I may have said that you deserved to come off the court. Was that correct?
Yeah, it was correct. And I, funnily enough, can watch it back and absolutely agree with you. When you've got such a talent as Brodie Roberts, the Australian goal attack at the moment, sitting in the wings, why not get him on the court? For sure.
You didn't say that off camera. You're only saying that now. So, all right, so we get underway, and it is South Australian in the red strip heading to your right, Queensland in the burgundy or the purple. And straight away, a turnover to them. Let's get you to go through the lineup for me, Dan, so everyone knows who's playing for the two lines.
Yeah, in at goal shooter for Queensland, Lachlan Carter. Goal attack, Jordan Webb. In at wing attack is Jack Jordan. Centre for Queensland, Nash Hosking. Wing defence, Glenn Ormashar. Goal defence, Mark Nichols. And up the back in goalkeeper is Ahaka Leonard. And for South Australia, in at goal shooter, Jordan Goggins. In goal attack, Alan Davis. Wing attack is Tom Cross. Centre, Travis Wood. Wing defence, Caleb Barnden. At goal defence, Nate Wood. And bringing up the back, goalkeeper, Fergus Gray.
And Webb gets us on the board for the start of this game. 4 15-minute quarters to unfold. GIT, it's a big tournament. They're playing 2 games a day. Queensland coming off the bye last night, so the feel is they could be a little bit fresher as Lachlan Carter unable to hold that in, but Queensland quickly get the turnover ball.
Look, been watching the week. I'm such a big fan of Jack Jordan in that wing attack. He releases the ball so early, gets the ball into the post, and it's really handy having Lachlan Carter in the front end for Queensland for him to do so.
Well taken by Cross, but the foot goes out of court. So just needing to find a little bit of rhythm in a front line here for South Australia. And a late challenge from Travis Wood. So Queensland in to attack Hosking. Yeah, good defence by South Australia, forcing the ball side. There's your man. High release.
Yeah, he's got a great target under the post in Lachlan Carter, who's come along in leaps and bounds over the last few years. And when he sets up really well for someone to look into the circle, I can't wait to see what Queensland can put out. So
blistering start by the Queenslanders here. 3-0. Chance to go 4 straight. Jordan, another high release, back space. Oh, and the block. Well, that was perfectly timed, wasn't it, from Fergus Gray? So South Australia need the reward here. There he is, Gray, the man of the moment. Wood, good long ball. So well worked through court for the South Australians. Needs the finish from Davis, and there you go. So they're on the board. Two sides have previously met, with Queensland winning 55-52. Dan, are we expecting this to go down the line again?
Yeah, I think the opportunity for it to go down the line. Look, Queensland had a great performance against Victoria yesterday. South Australia, not so much yesterday afternoon, but I think they'll be looking to change that performance they put out against Victoria. And, you know, they played Queensland yesterday, and I think that's what I'd be looking for, is the same close match.
So nice double defence sitting back for South Australia on Carter, but Queensland find their way through Jordan Webb. And they break South Australia's centre pass again, so good strong start. Let's not forget I mentioned that this Queensland side had the rest last night. They've certainly come out of the blocks all guns blazing.
Yeah, that rest at this stage of the week, especially with on average 2 games a day, having the bye, kind of that first round of the second one, can really help the body and the mind get over it. That, you know, day 3 rest is helpful.
The day 3 blues.
Yeah, you don't really get that, and it's a nice spot to either have it last night or this morning, that bye. And when you see the draw and you get those ones, you kind of like get a sigh of relief, to be honest.
So Leonard in amongst the mess, gets the contact call. Goggins finishes the shot. 5-2 for Queensland here. Nowhere to go. Cross-court ball. Finds Hosking. Good take. Strong take in the air from Jordan. Under pressure.
That's something I think has got better from Queensland throughout this week, is just Lachlan Carter sitting in a front spot that's not always in this back hold. We see the back hold there, but when he's in a front spot, it's a lot easier for the Queensland team to find him.
So it'll be a contact call there on Travis Wood. Again, Queensland, another opportunity. There you go, ball straight into the front.
Yeah, look, he's got the height there, and yes, whilst you can rely on it, it's a lot easier to find the tool when they're sitting in front, and you can give the flat ball straight in.
Variety the key, isn't it?
Yeah.
So South Australia now. Nice short ball use, obstruction the call. So great play off the centre pass. Just needs the finish. They need to be able to string a couple of these together. Eventually it falls for Jordan Goggins. So the first 5 minutes quickly through. Session 1 of day 4 here at Bendat in Perth. As we head towards the pointy end of this AMMNA Championships, finals still to come.
Yeah, these two teams really playing for that final spot. That fourth spot is still up for grabs for them. Queensland sitting in fourth with 1 and 3 wins, and South Australia yet to make a win. So they'd be looking to get that first win of the championship on the scoreboard. Yeah,
so as we retrieve the ball here to note, 5 sides only in the men's open. 1 will miss out on finals and likely to come from one of these 2 sides.
Yeah, going by what's happened so far,
yeah, so far.
Sharing the wins through the top 3 teams, it's going to be very hard for any of those to not make it now. So South Australia really playing for their life in this match today.
Almost a final. Oh, not enough on that swing, but offside the call. Webb just working that front space. And quick offload into Carter, so an easy shot for Queensland. Still holding that 5-goal buffer. Now again a chance to push it out off their centre pass. Well, one thing that continues to impress me when I get a chance to sit alongside men's netball is just the athleticism. The way in which they can just use that, look like the ball, just beautiful release. That's just stunning release of the ball.
I'm in amazement still of what it is that goes out there, without a doubt. Like, I am so amazed at what some of these boys can do, the elevation they get on their jump, the quick release. It's just phenomenal netball.
So defensive pressure, well, brilliant by Queensland, and then caught South Australia napping. No one at the line to release the pressure for their attacking end. And they can really punish here. Queensland Suns having to work the ball around. Patience from Hosking. Eventually off the hands of Jordan into Carter, and the finish. Yeah,
quick release there from Jordan. Look, I think Queensland at the moment are struggling to bring the ball through the court a little bit. This is a better drive there, as you can see, from Jack Jordan, but when they can get the drive going, they're able to get the ball to the post really easily. I think they're almost just struggling a little bit through the transition into the goal third.
So South Australia needing to find some answers, and the key thing here is that they need to score off their own centre pass. Davis, some loose hands, but the ball will go back to the South Aussies, and then no strength on the take of the ball. However, back into the hands of the attacking side. That's a better take from Jordan Goggins.
Yeah, great goal from South Australia, able to put that through, or footwork call. Did see that happen as well. So turnover here for South Australia. Really need to probably convert.
Well, I was just going to say that. Absolutely critical, Dan, isn't it? Yep. These are the moments, and that's not what they need. Of course, keeping an eye on the scoreboard, critical to do the simple things right. And I tell you what, Tom Cross is going to sort that out. Nice little deflection from the wing attack from South Australia.
Again, just that error, the simple ball skills probably in keeping it short and sharp and making sure that it gets to circle edge so that you can give a nice ball into your goal circle, and South Australia really not able to do that at the moment.
A scrappy couple of minutes, hasn't it been? We're just halfway through this, or heading into the latter half of this first quarter. Queensland dominated from the start. 4-zip they were. Lovely swing to the pocket, and then the high release again from Jordan. So the connection between the mid-court and the shooters, but then the big rejection and block.
I'd love to see a goalkeeper get up there and stop Lockie Carter from putting the dunk through the ring. So
the transition was as quick as I've seen from South Australia so far. And there may be a confident shot. Yes. And a chance to go 2 in a row here, Dan.
Yeah, a good movement through the court from South Australia. This is what they can actually put out onto court, is some really good and clever netball. It's just about getting the consistency with it.
Cross, hits the circle edge. Oh, and then a lovely... Well, gee, I saw the whistle go then. I thought it was going to be an offensive contact. Not to be. So South Australia, 2 in a row. 5:30 on the clock to play out this opening quarter. 5 the difference. Webb. Just feel like Fergus Gray is getting a little caught on the body.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's getting stuck into the backspace. And look, to be honest, Lockie Carter's used a lot of backspace ball throughout the rest of the championship so far. Today I've seen him change up his starting spot, and I think that's some smart move from Gary. I'd say he's given him the suggestion to be able to do so, but it just seems that Queensland are able to look into the circle really easily.
Yeah, no, that'll be an obstruction. It was well timed though, wasn't it, from Nate Wood. Straight down the middle and over into the pocket. The contest around the circle edge. And well done, Glenn Ormisher.
Yeah, captain for Queensland, really pulling out a captain's ball there to give Queensland a little bit more momentum.
Yeah, and then straight down the line from the captain. So they swing to the middle corridor, Queensland, and then use the front ball into Webb. And Fergus Gray, well, wipes the floor up quickly. This will be an absolute sure thing from Lachlan Carter. And so the opportunity again goes missing for South Australia. 14-7 the score. We'll just get the court wiped here. 4 minutes to unfold in this opening quarter. Glimpses of good from South Australia, just no consistency.
Yeah, a little bit of a lack of consistency. It's probably been the same thing for them throughout the week, and probably for a couple of years now, is that there's always glimpses that South Australia can put some good netball together, just not able to string it for constant periods of time, even in quarters, and they stay with teams for maybe a half and then and let it slip. So, yeah, unfortunate.
Now, let's see how this final 4 unfolds. That'll be an offside call. So Queensland will set up inside the circle. Carter, well, clever stuff. He had the 2-on-1, and instead of waiting for the high ball, rolls forward and takes the front space.
He's got a fantastic lunge, really, you call it, on him. It takes up a lot of the circle, so you can have a penalty towards the outside and just able to find him under the post still on a lunge.
I just love his awareness to do that as well, as opposed to just constantly rely on his height and elevation. So showing he's got a few more tricks in his pocket. Cross, quick hands. Davis, the finish, nice and strong. Nice, good mid-range shot.
It's a lovely shot that he has on him, Davis. And swish straight through the ring. Can't really ask for too much more.
No, well, he probably needs to do it a little bit more and alleviate a bit of pressure.
Yeah.
Oh, well taken. Falling out of court. Nate Wood. Big moment here, South Australia. Again, a chance to string a couple together. So through court. Davis back to the line, cross. So working to the circle edge. Travis Wood. Good pressure from Queensland. So this is the patience South Australia need. This is the man we just spoke about. Davis with the finish again. So it'll be a South Australia centre pass.
Yeah, great confidence to continue to keep doing the work around the circle and get the ball in there and have the shot.
Full stretch, should I say. Tom Cross. Can the finish go? No, the foot was out of court anyhow. Oh, no, it wasn't. It was stepping. So Queensland, 2 minutes to unfold. Opening quarter. Great vision cross court.
Yeah, interesting. That ball did have a front hold, went into the backspace, but Lockie Carter in a good spot that he's able to find where the ball is and just follow that to score the goal.
Ormisher just tinkling with the rules. And that rule will be called, though. Contact. Travis Wood. Oh, good pressure, though. And eventually the patience from Nash Hosking then just to find his way.
Sam Carlson, someone, sorry. That's...
My apologies, yes. Hosking to the bench.
Oh, interesting. Didn't see that call, but they're on Jordan Goggins just for the offensive contact and probably just jostling for position a little bit.
Just over a minute to play here. Just Patience working ball through court. There's Carlson. Fresh legs on, and then a quick high release into Carter. This is a low release, isn't it, from Jordan? But he finds his way there. I'd love to see a good set of hands go over that release into Carter.
Yeah, most of the time he has been releasing it high, but then again, a little bit of a low release there. But I think it's the quickness of him just letting the ball go or trusting the instinct that Lockie Carter's got a good hold and he's set up ready to go early.
Quick offload from Webb, so great circle connection between Lachlan Carter and Jordan Webb. 30 seconds to play here, so South Australia need to make this count. And what a fly from Leonard. He's up and about, isn't he?
Yep.
Trying to spoil. He's having a look here in the backspace as well. So the front ball into Davis. Quick offload. So an important goal there for South Australia, just to stay within range. 9 down. They've allowed that score to creep out in the last couple of minutes. 11 seconds here. Plenty of time to take the shot. The offload to Carter. Plenty of time on this one. 4 seconds. He'll get a penalty after the siren. So Lachlan Carter to set the final goal in motion here, and it will take the scoreline to 20. I'm going to back him in. Why wouldn't you? Put my house on it. Carter, don't fail me. Lachlan Carter. Sue Gordian's house is safe as the scoreline hits the big 2-0.
Somewhere to go home to tonight.
Yes, and Sue has a bed tonight. Queensland, great opening quarter, 20-10. Welcome back to the AMMNA Championships, live from Western Australia. We are day 4 of competition and session 1 of our game unfolding on the court in front of you. Queensland up against South Australia. Second time they've met so far in this tournament. Queensland a blistering opening quarter, 20-10. AMMNA Championships proudly supported by Bladen WA, great temperatures, sweet treats, Spud Shed, West Coast Fever and Netball WA. Joining me in commentary, if you've just jumped on board to the stream, is Dan Cook, former Australian men's player. Dan, South Australia have got some work to do in this. Talk me through what you think needs to unfold.
Yeah, really just a lack of consistency from them. We see glimpses of fantastic play from them, ability to get the ball to circle edge, just not able to convert really, getting the ball into the circle. Great defensive pressure from Queensland. But it's also probably stopping Queensland from getting the ball into the circle so quickly. 20 goals on the scoreboard, that's a lot.
Well, first to score in this quarter, so maybe the confidence they need, the man that they need to stop, without a doubt, is Lachlan Carter in at goal shooter. And he's been exceptionally clever in the way he's used his space, as has Davis been in the way he allowed that ball to dribble. And converts. So a couple of changes being made. Do you want to talk me through those?
Yeah, look, Nash Hosking returns to the court at wing defence for Queensland. Captain Glenn Ormisha going to the bench for them. Maybe just a rotation of legs here. South Australia not with any changes to their team.
Terrific long ball and then swings to open up the far side of the court. There's Carlson. Came on in the latter minutes of that first quarter, and too much on that for Carter. Good set of hands over the release, which may have just forced a bit more on that ball. So South Australia have struggled through transition.
Yeah, no one coming forward for them at the moment. Everyone just kind of wanting the ball over into the back space. So it'd be nice to see someone coming forward.
Yeah, radar completely off for Goggins. It was a much-needed goal, wasn't it? They need to make some inroads here, South Australia, if they're going to get into this contest. Vying most likely for a finals berth with a win in this game.
Yeah, unfortunately, turnover there for Queensland. But, you know, I'd like to see a little bit of urgency out of South Australia or some want for the ball. They just seem a little bit lacklustre at times. Unfortunately, with great unfortunate contact there for Leonard. But, yeah, there's just a little bit of lack of intensity and want and drive for that spot in the Final Four.
So a couple of early misses after that opening goal from South Australia. So penalty set. Nichols to stand out of play. So Davis, whose radar was well and truly on in that first quarter.
Lost a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit off. That eventually finds his way. Was a South Australian centre pass, though. Great take under all sorts of pressure. And Sam Carlson.
Great 1-2 there from Jordan Webb into the circle, able to open up Lockie Carter. Look, I'm really impressed by Queensland at the moment. They've got 4 boys out on court that are still eligible for the under-23s division. Fantastic work that Gary Passion's done with getting this group of younger guys, one in a spot where their body can take the hits and they're prepared for it. It's a hard physical game in the men's open division, and look, they're really holding their own.
Shout out to Gary Passion, the head coach of the Queensland men's side. Also played assistant coach role for the Australian men's team.
Yep, former
player
Australian
himself.
Yep. You know, he's had a wonderful career, not just as a coach, but as a player for the Australian team as well. So, yeah, hats off to him as well for the amount of work that he's done with the Queensland juniors and getting them through into the open team and to be competitive in the division at such a youthful stage of their group.
Pathway very important as Carter slots in another. So Queensland, after a little bit of a shaky opening couple of minutes, have found some rhythm and form, and Leonard's spring is getting bigger as the seconds tick along. Oh, good offload and nice finish as South Australia rolls another substitution onto the court. Loose hands, not what Queensland would have wanted in that moment, but we keep saying here are the opportunities for South Australia. Long court conversion required. Last time they took ball through court, it was lost on a missed shot. How do they go about it this time? Matt Fowler, the target down here. Nice little switch up. He's in the backspace there, taking the attention of the defence, and that's the return they need. South Australia convert from the long court now with the centre pass and a chance for 2 in a row. Tom Cross works back the ball with Wood, sets up Fowler onto the court, and a quick finish. Nice little run here for South Australia.
Yeah, Tom Cross made the move out from being inside the goal circle for South Australia for this year's championships into that wing attack spot, and he's really looking at controlling the front end as their front end is quite young. So, bit of a change there for South Australia.
No goal, footwork the call on Carter. So, for me, a massive moment here for South Australia. To convert off this and then score their next centre pass would put them 4 goals straight. You can just see they understand the importance of this moment. Cross-court ball from Cross. There he is again into Fowler. Well, South Australia, the turnover. So 3 unanswered goals their way. Centre pass to come.
Yeah, great work from South Australia here, getting multiple balls through into the post. A nice little change up from Brian Lyons.
Wood, patience, back to the line. Nate Wood. Sorry, Barndon that was. My apologies. Cross. So the attention all going to the rolling sub in Matt Fowler, and it's just allowing Alan Davis to have space. So South Australia have now brought this scoreline back to 7.
Oh, quick ball. Great vision there from Jack Jordan into Lockie Carter. Look, I've been really happy with what he's been able to do. That's the first time we've probably seen it for a little while in this game, but throughout the championship so far, that delivery is keeping them in games in really important times.
Well, to the point, Fergus Gray, the goalkeeper for South Australia, put his hands immediately to his head. He was frustrated.
It's so hard to stop if the ball's got that height on it.
Absolutely.
And you can deliver to the right space. You just have to be up there and be able to pull it in.
Got to be able to execute the skill, not like that moment as the loose ball now falls to the hands of Queensland. And Harker Leonard will get that motion in play. That'll be obstruction on Fowler. Contest from Nichols.
That's a difficult
from Wood, sorry.
Difficult ball to deliver, though, that one. Straight up the line, really hard. You want to create some space away from the defender.
And there you go. That's that pass you were talking about. So the hot hand of Jack Jordan all of a sudden returns. Out the back. Taken from Jordan Webb. Offload to Carter. So I feel like there are moments where South Australia are up and about, and then moments where they're struggling to find an answer or execute a skill.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there as well. It's just that inconsistency of being able to put the same good netball out onto court all the time.
So Leighton Johnston with ball in hand, rolls on in goal defence for Queensland. Carter, clever.
Yeah, he's another one of the youngsters coming in up for Queensland, and look, fantastic hops can play in both goal defence and goalkeeper, and really looking forward to it. I enjoyed his game yesterday against Victoria. Really looking forward to seeing what he can do today as well.
Wayward ball from Jordan. South Australia, had a look at it, did Carlson. Not to be, so it opens up through court. Wood, cross, quick offload. Oh, Fowler, loose hands. Not good enough.
Yeah, no, it's unfortunate for South Australia that the hands let them down, but really needs to look at pulling that ball in from up high.
Well, it was an uncontested ball, to be blatantly honest with you. It was just a quick release, so, you know, skill is king, as I continue to say, and it's the first thing that lets you down.
Yeah, coach killer that one, just a break on the line, but it's those basic fundamental skills that really get you over the line. Doesn't matter what grade of netball it is that you're playing, and unfortunately sometimes when you let yourself down with those easy fundamentals, it really hurts.
Agree. 5:30 to play out in this second quarter. Queensland. Carter shooting and leading the way at the moment over South Australia, taking their scoreline now to 30, leading SA by 13. There's been a couple of good moments in this quarter from South Australia, and then Queensland have responded. And another high release in. And so The South Australian defence are being asked a number of questions, aren't they? How to contend with the tall shooter from Queensland. Fowler again. This is the ball. That's a better take. And the quick step in. Probably would like to have seen a bit of pause and patience on the shot, but they get there in the end when the smallest man in the circle, Alan Davis, takes the rebound.
Yeah, Darren Gillespie onto the court here for Queensland will bring a whole heap of experience. He's been around for multiple years through the Queensland program, so has a great connection with Lockie Carter in that goal circle.
Well, Jordan Webb was doing a terrific job as well, so Gary Passion, I just had a quick chat with him before the game, and he was just stating the importance of the long game. You can't... There's a lot of netball to be played, 2 full games a day with the occasional bye. And to get to the pointy end and actually have, I guess, the energy in the tank to be able to perform is still critical. So another rolling sub as we see Carlson come off the court.
Well, I have to agree with you as well. For sure, been a part of multiple national championships where it's the ability to get yourself to that end game and those finals and playing those games that happened at the time, because you can come from 3rd or 4th and take out the national championship.
Yep, ball to SA, not the finish, but a good strong rebound, and then a little jump shot off the hand of Fowler.
Yeah, Glenn Ormisher returning to the court, the captain at centre. So just a slightly different lineup from the start. Glenn starting in wing defence, Nash Hosking in centre, switching over the bibs now for the remainder of the second quarter.
So 20-10 scoreline it was at quarter time, with Queensland leading the way, and they've pushed that scoreline out now up to 14. Oh, late challenge. That'll be a contact though. Wrong angle from the captain, and then an offensive contact and an unnecessary one. South Australia, so an opportunity that goes missing.
Yeah, Sam Foster also taking to the court now for South Australia. You'll notice him with the nice long locks there in goal defence.
Well, I was watching the live stream last night and I saw Mr. Foster, and I thought I need to get a photo with that man because that is a serious hairdo.
Oh, touch of character, Sam Foster.
Oh,
definitely.
No one has a hairdo like that and doesn't have a touch of character to go with it.
Look, same with Leighton Johnson, those hairdos.
That would be a great shot, wouldn't it? One for the pool room. So 2 minutes to play here, 35-19. Queensland certainly holding strong. They've had a challenge from South Australia. Cross. Spent a bit of time questioning the umpire after that recent offensive contact. Got him nowhere. There he is now, ball in hand. Middle corridor, good offload, finds Matt Fowler. And the patience from Fowler, that'll... Oh, that's got to be scored.
Yeah, I feel like that
was interruption with a post.
A goal, but look, at least the penalty was given and the goal's gone through. But I have to agree with you. I think that's been knocked out purely based on the knock to the post. Oh, Glenn Ormisher.
And the quick release. So terrific play from Queensland. 3 balls off an intercept.
And South Australia replacing Matt Fowler now. Going with their smalls. Clayton Wells joins the court.
So moving circle, and gee, not the way to come on the court with loose hands from Wells. He's frustrated with that. So Brian Lyons, the coach of South Australia, certainly utilising the depth of his bench here, trying to find a solution. And here's a chance though. Cross. There's Wells, just entered the court. Just under 50 seconds to unfold, so needs an immediate impact at the post, and it's not to be. So Leonard, the rebound. Long. This is the man that's impressed me so far. Jack Jordan. Has a great name to go with it. Plenty of time. And loose hands Carter, so a bit of fatigue setting in. Gee, there's bodies flying everywhere. Johnston, he'll go out of play. Leonard, well, that was a gimme. I'm coming. 20 seconds on the clock. Patience required from Queensland here just to convert. There's the captain. Jordan lunges, steps around, high release into Carter. And you get the feeling that will be the last goal of this opening half. As Queensland extend their lead on the siren. So another impressive second quarter from the Queenslanders. 37-20, so extending that lead by another 7 goals. Noting these two sides did meet throughout the week, and it was only a 3-goal difference with Queensland winning 55-52. So the bye last night doing the Queenslanders a wealth of good. We're going to take a break, and we'll come back with the second half of the AMMNA Championships, Queensland taking on South Australia.
Having a pretty good season this year, Andy.
By the look of this lot, you are too.
Well, we've got a good team out in the field. You want to go meet them?
Sure. So what do you grow here?
We've got broccolis, collies over there, carrots, you name it. We harvest it today, catch. And it's in the stores tomorrow.
So you guys are the midfielders of the fruit and veg?
At Spot Shed, we grow it.
We sell it, you save.
Giving this season everything we've got. Just try and stop us. Don't miss the excitement of West Coast Fever at RAC Arena. Tickets on sale now at ticketek.com.au. Giving this season everything we've got. Just try and stop us. Don't miss the excitement of West Coast Fever at RAC Arena. Tickets on sale now at ticketek.com.au.
Welcome back to the coverage. Sue Gordian and Dan Cook taking you through this game today here at Bendat Stadium. It's the AMMNA Championships 2023. hosted by WA. Plenty of action been happening over the last 4 days. Halfway through this game here. 37-20 with Queensland leading. South Australia with some work to do. 2010 opening quarter, then on to a 17-goal lead for Queensland at the halftime break. Plenty of changes continuing to unfold. The rolling subs have been heavily used by both Brian Lyons, the head coach of South Australia, Gary Passion, head coach of Queensland. And we'll go straight to Dan. Any changes as we head into this half?
Yeah, a change for Queensland in the front end. Jordan Webb returns to the court now in that wing attack, giving Jack Jordan a rest in that space. Mark Nichols also comes back on at goal defence with Leighton Johnson moving back to keeper. So over to the bench goes Ahaka Leonard for South Australia. They've kept the same. They made the change, bringing Clayton Wells on. Interesting to see how that will go. I'm interested in seeing how the two smalls will work, and I can understand the change from Gary Passion if that was how South Australia were going to run out. But look, Clayton Wells, really smart player in the circle. He's going to be able to move the ball around. So I'm interested to see how this one works for them.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if the tactics continue, if South Australia bring back one of their tools in to the shooting. Does Gary Passion quickly adjust his line? We'll continue to watch as that unfolds. Carter under a little bit of pressure there from Fergus Gray, who comes back onto the court. Penalty to be set. And the goal is scored. So South Australia have been unable to convert their opening goal, I think, of every quarter, if my memory is correct, or if not, there and thereabouts.
Yeah, I think you're right as well. And unfortunately for them, it just allows Queensland, when they do convert, to kind of put some more goals on the scoreboard and push out that margin. Great work, Nash Hosking.
So Ormisha through the middle now. Carter been impressive, hasn't he? Just gets on with it.
Look, it's like a fine wine. He's getting better with age, to be honest. It's so easy to be able to find him now under the post. And I think his positioning is getting better, and he's a lot easier to read. He's stronger in the air with the ball as well. Used to be known for having a few fumbles. So, I think it's actually pretty safe to put the ball up to him constantly now, and especially in those high-impact games, WA, Victoria, New South Wales, where the body's on you. He's great at pulling that ball in now.
So the moving circle, the small circle, uses the front space cleverly. Clayton Wells, heavily strapped knees, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's had those like that for a while, Clayton. So not sure if there's a constant problem or it's just a feelings.
So the 2-on-1 back on the thread at the post. And then a nice little contest. It was the right idea by Foster, just a bit late, but eventually they come up with it, South Australia. So there's been moments, opportunities, and then they've been spoiled right in front of their very eyes. Ormisha comes through, the captain of Queensland.
Just a flat ball there into the circle. Probably not the best hold there from Lockie Carter either. The ball sat up in the air, floated over the goal line, unfortunately now. Probably just needed a little bit more height on it, I think, instead of just a little bit more of a floater, let Lockie run onto it.
I think they got excited.
Can see it, eyes light up, put the ball to the post.
This is where South Australia is struggling. The connection here through the mid-court, they're forced out wide. It's the defence of Queensland. Needs to show some patience. Cross. So they come through the middle. Wells has gone out to try and set the ball in play. And look at that from out wide, in under the post. Oh, gee, Wells just needs to finish. He's had a couple of good moments.
Yeah, a couple of missed balls underneath the post.
Yeah.
Really hurt. But I think there's a contact call here on Lockie for holding.
A little bit of fatigue early in this third. And when one is fatigued, all that is required is execution of skill, the simplicities of the game. Well, not to be. So, 42-21. Not a lot of scoring being done in this first 5 minutes. Lots of back and forth. And the patience to eventually find the middle of the ring for Gillespie. And South Australia. Nice opening on that first phase. Up the middle, so there's the moving circle and the connection.
Penalty there on the outside circle. Look, I think that's been a nice little change from South Australia to bring Clayton on into goal shooter. It's going to make a defender who's probably used to the tall target actually have to think about something different, a different starting spot for them, and they've got to work out how South Australia are getting the ball through the court now.
Well, for me, the issue for South Australia here is the depth that Queensland keep getting in that second phase, straight into the pocket. Once they're at the goal circle edge, that man there is impossible to stop in Lachlan Carter. So contact the call. Goes against Nash Hosking. There's Wells, quick speed and use. Won't want to shoot from there. Has to go back to the line. Oh, and then loose ball. It'll be a contact though. So lining up. And here's the key, isn't it? With the two small shooters, although their defence isn't a lot taller, accuracy is the key because rebounding becomes exceptionally difficult and they are able to convert on that occasion.
Yeah, the hard thing with the two smalls is that it's actually quite physically demanding for both of them in there. Look, coming from experience, 2013 when won a national championship with two smalls for the majority of it, Dan Ryan and myself. But it's actually quite physically demanding. So what feels like might be one standard game of netball probably really feels like three because you've got to do so much extra work to get the ball into the circle, finding space close to the post with the safe shot.
So a little deflection from Foster and then straight down the other end. Johnston returns. 3 balls and Queensland were at the post. Carter didn't like the range. They go again. And it'll be Gillespie, the experienced goal attack. So another little change. Carlson back onto the court as the captain goes for a rest in Glenn Ormisher. Queensland, the speed, Carlson. The swing at the top, the sweep from Gillespie. Over the big hands of Gray. Terrific defence from Gray, but the ball dropped.
To wing attack as well, to cover that, to have Jack Jordan on the bench at the moment. There's just lots that Queensland have to offer.
Short ball played here, cross with Wells. That'll be a contact on Johnston. So do they go for the shot here at range? He's been good previously, Davis. He's had confidence to do so. Goes again on that one.
Oh, look, I hope he's going to put the ball up from that distance. You do all the work in training, all the work that you've done in the previous years. You'd really hope you'd have the confidence in your shot to put that ball up and through the ring.
It's been the dominance of Queensland in this third quarter. 10-4 this quarter score. It'll be 11-4. So for everything South Australia have thrown out, Queensland have answered 2 times over, haven't they?
Yeah. There seems just...
Breaking.
Break call.
When things don't go your way, things don't go your way. 6 minutes 26 to play out. Another big game coming your way after this as WA men take on the Victorian men in the Open division. So Jordan back onto the court. Little handstand at the top by Carlson, and then he lets his opponent know about it. So a few antics happening off the ball as the players get a little bit fatigued. Carter. Well, Colton, from my understanding of the rules,
yeah, it's a goal.
That's goaltending, okay, yeah. Right?
Yeah,
that's goaltending.
at wing defence. Brian Lyons really kind of just rotate the legs now and making sure that everyone probably gets some court time. That ball's got to go through.
It does indeed. Brian Lyons is keeping me up to speed with having to find names and keep on top of things. That's what he's doing, Dan.
That's right.
Nothing to do with resting legs.
Just wants to let you know who all of his players are.
That's right. I'm learning. South Australia. Spall, Queensland's centre pass. And a chance now for another one. Top of the circle. Good swing to the top. It was deflected, though. Goes into Wells. At range for Wells. Well, he couldn't hit a couple under the ring, but he shows us what he's about from out far.
Good confidence there. Look, sometimes goalers like the range from a little bit further out than under the post. I used to hate that shot under the post. It always
You're all precious. A lot of you shooters. You're all precious.
I'll give you that.
Carlson just... that'll be a penalty set inside the circle, so you'll see Carter. Or, gee, I'll tell you what, he was close there because he was leaning in on... That was Gray, who had to stand out of play. So the umpires certainly been kept on their toes, aren't they, in this game? And the finish from Lachlan Carter, who's certainly been one of the most impressive on court in this game today. So 3 minutes just over in this third quarter. A little untidy it's been, but that's the fatigue in the bodies. And that's probably an example of it. Nowhere to go. Carter, well, they did a rolling sub as Gray came off the court. And